Hey there, I'm Heidi and I wanted to do a video today on setting up a laser workspace for the first time and some of the considerations that you might want to make either before launching in and purchasing a laser or at least before you do your setup. Now I am using a diode and infrared and also a CO2 machine here, and the principles are the same across the board. The first thing I would consider is safety, so that is fire safety, health safety in terms of eye and lungs. So in terms of fire extinguishers, I have these little cheap $20 to $30 fire extinguishers at both the entry and exit of my workspace. So by the door and by the secondary door. This just, gives me comfort in knowing that should anything happen and someone's coming running in, that there's something that they can grab straight away. The other one that I have behind it is the larger CO2 fire extinguisher. That's the one that I keep at the base of my machines. Now, it is more of an investment. I think that one was $250 from memory, but worth every cent because a CO2 fire extinguisher is not going to leave any residue. These little powder ones are going to leave a mess and you're going to have to clean that up. So you're going to have like a powder residue on your machine. If you're spraying it, it could get onto the laser lens and it means more significant cleanup time. The CO2 is going to be a clean blast and you're just left with the debris of whatever maybe caught alight. Now, I haven't had a fire, so I've been very fortunate, but I think being over prepared is a good idea. I don't suggest probably having a fire blanket because I think if you throw it on top, you're waiting for that fire to then be sort of covered and go down. And in that stage, you might have actually damaged either your laser head or your entire laser in that time. With fires, they might not be instantaneous. As I said, I haven't had a fire, which has been fantastic, but I have had smoky items. So keep in mind that we've probably all heard of someone who's caught their garbage bin on fire by having like hot coals from a barbecue and they've thrown them in there and 3 or 4 hours later they've lit up. So if you have anything that you have burnt or sort of overdone in your laser, please put it somewhere safe, out on concrete with nothing flammable around it. Now that is a consideration on choosing your workspace. I don't advise to have any carpet in the room that you're using your laser in. It's perfect for either a garage or a studio like I've got. Otherwise, you can, if you're using it in a spare room, keep it away from flammable items. So keep your laser well away from curtains, well away from carpeted areas. It might even pay just to get some kind of matting so that if you drop anything that has caught alight, that you don't have these highly flammable items around you. Now, each of the lasers that I have here behind me all have different wavelengths. So the wavelength of a diode laser is quite different to the wavelength of a CO2 laser, and each will have safety glasses rated for the wavelength of your actual machine. Now, I do suggest getting these because even though all of these lasers sort of filmed here are enclosed lasers, as soon as you put them up on risers to start using the rotaries, you are opening up that machine. It's the same as if you were using the machine in an open state. It will go then from a class 1, which is eye safe, to look at without your glasses on. So if I'm using this machine fully enclosed, it is safe. As soon as I put my machine on risers, I then need to wear my safety glasses. Now, as someone who wears glasses myself, if I'm using this machine right now, I will wear my safety glasses over the top. And I think all of the different glasses that I have for the different machines, they all fit really easily over my eyeglasses and don't obstruct my vision at all. So if you are a glasses wearer, you can still easily use your safety glasses, but I do suggest having a pair or even a spare pair so that if you have a guest who comes over or you've got someone else in the room, that you're looking after the eye health of everyone. Now, I alluded to, having a nice safe workspace. The other thing is to have a desktop or a bench that is able to take the weight of these machines. Now, a diode, these types of machines are probably anywhere from 16 to 22 kilos with their enclosures. Otherwise, the CO2 machines are around 40 to 50 kilos, so considerably heavier. So you are going to be wanting to look at something that has the load that is able to take that weight. and no risk of fall or damaging your machine or damaging your floor. For the boring old topic of insurance, please check that you are covered in terms of home and contents insurance if you're using your laser from home. I know here within Australia, if you are selling any items, even as a hobby business, you will have to have business insurance from home, and it is quite considerable. And if you're adding a laser to your business, check that you are fully insured for that too. I'm no insurance broker, but I just mean be really well prepared and sit down when you get those quotes, because they will jump your insurance considerably. In terms of my workspace, I keep anything that is flammable well away. So any paints, alcohols that I use for cleaning, anything like that, I keep well locked away in a cabinet far away from my laser space, so that should anything happen, it is safely removed from where the fire would start. For all of the enclosed machines that I have here, my air exhaust hoses have come included in the package. Now on these two machines, it has a USB fan, and this one actually has a inline fan that will extract the air from the machine, and then you can put this out and vent it through the window. This is great for probably 99% of you. And the other consideration is if you are, for example, in your home and you don't want any smell, you're going to find that things like cutting acrylic and also leather has a more stinky smell to it than wood and paper products. So if you do have that issue that you've got neighbours very close, and if you're venting out the window, the unit next to you might have that come in, you're going to get complaints. So get on the front foot and consider getting a smoke purifier or air purifier to really clean that smell up. You won't smell a thing at all. I would like to add, if you are looking at buying an air purifier because your neighbours are close or you're using your laser within your home, consider getting the biggest one that you can. Now I say that because the really small ones, you see them for sale a lot on Facebook Marketplace because they weren't efficient enough for some of these machines. And give yourself some room to grow, because as you get into lasers, you'll find that they're kind of addictive and you'll end up with more machines. So get one that will cover you and then some, because you don't want to grow out of it quickly or find that it's not quite effective enough. Also check that you can easily get replacement filters, because they are a consumable. The filters can last up to 6 months depending on how heavily you're using your laser, but I can't answer that one for you. Just check out how much your smoke purifier or air purifier will cost, how much the consumables are, and whether they're really quite affordable, because some of those filters can cost up to $500 for a replacement. So, you might want to sit down when you're considering that. Do I think they're worthwhile? Yes, I absolutely do. When you're considering your safety, I always think put that first. Now, if you've seen my adventures previously on my open diode laser, I was using this sort of tent-like structure, which is great. It's got a little window so you can see how the laser is working on the inside, and it's got this sort of orangey browny window which you can see through. Now this will not extract the same level of sort of air exhaust as the enclosed machines. It's pretty good, and it probably does about 90%, but if you're using this like inside a spare room or your home office, it's probably still going to be a little bit stinky. So keep that in consideration. But these are great with those little open frame units, and if you can't utilize this very well, you can always use your open frame unit outside or in a more well ventilated area than, say, a spare room. When you're using one of these tent-like structures, you do need to still wear safety glasses, because this is not the same safety rating in terms of radiation to exposure to your eyes. So please always wear your glasses when you're using this one. Keep in mind safety always, but these are good considerations when you're first setting up your laser. It won't take you long until you're looking at other accessories for your machines. So if you're looking to buy a rotary or something like that, keep in mind that often they work across multiple machine brands, and it might just mean the difference of the cord that you use. I put off getting a laser myself because I was worried about the safety aspects, and I didn't know anyone where I could go and see it like in person. So I actually did an orientation at a community laser place so that I could get a feel for the safety of machines, and that was a really, really great help. So I'm covering a lot of what was covered in that session, just so you know what you're up for before you go and set up your workspace. Machine maintenance will go a long way into preventing a lot of issues that you'll have with your laser. So regardless of which type of laser, CO2 or diode, I always recommend getting the honeycomb. I know sometimes it's an added extra, but I think it's well worth it. And I clean out the honeycomb on the daily. So if I've been doing a lot of cuts, I make sure that I take the honeycomb out and clean underneath it, just to get any dirt and debris out of it. So keep that in mind, that it is worthwhile getting a honeycomb. It gives you very, very clean cuts, and to clean underneath it. I will do another video on machine maintenance because I think it's important to remind ourselves how often we need to do machine maintenance, but I would definitely say cleaning out the honeycomb or underneath your rails or whatever your workspace is and getting rid of debris will eliminate a lot of issues. Having a laser can be an incredible amount of fun. It will really release your creative side, and I'm sure that you will enjoy it. So I just wanted to say, look, if you have any comments, anything you think I've forgotten to mention, please put it in the comments so that we can help others along the journey of starting a laser workspace. And thank you for watching. I'm Heidi, I'm the Crafty Socialite, and I just want you to have fun with your laser. So let me know how you're going with your laser journey.